Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader. And today's reading, to me, what today's reading feels like is that we're making progress for ourselves, and the things that once held us back, whatever those people and situations are, we're turning things around for ourselves in a way where we're able to see more clearly. I feel like we're starting to intuit more, maybe more consistently. I know that this feels like it's very much in keeping with the past few readings. There's this momentum forward that I feel like I'm picking up on for us as a collective, where we really are learning to listen in to those deeper, wiser messages that we all have access to. So yeah, I feel like we're in the process of moving past a lot of collective and individual anxieties and fears. And I'm seeing that with this guy. So here we have 9 of Swords. 9 is about perception. I think of it as it's a visionary number, so it can be about receiving really powerful vision for things that we want to create, or things that we maybe anticipate from that psychic place, just a vision of something coming, or a vision of something that we haven't even maybe created for ourselves yet, but we can feel the reality of it before it manifests, So 9 has that quality to it, and also the theme of perception, how we're seeing or not seeing clearly within our own mind's eye. So with this energy, you have that feeling of judgment clouded by fear and anxiety, and in the same way that we can bring about really powerful, positive change for ourselves and have just these really beautiful visions of things that we are even creating on an energetic level before they manifest. We can also do the same thing, because the flip side of the coin is we can do the same thing with all of those negative what ifs. What if something terrible happens? What if I don't get the job or the promotion? What if this person is looking down on me? What if? So all of those negative what ifs that we hold on to, I feel like this energy is the embodiment of that. And it's swords, which correspond to air. And air speaks to our mental processes. So everything that goes on an intellectual level, and yeah, again, how we perceive things, what we perceive to be true or untrue. And here it's muddled. And the way this feels to me, I'm just kind of intuiting the way I have the cards here before me, and you'll see at the end picture, it's almost like the middle part of what's called a Celtic cross. So it feels as if this is stuff that we've been going through, moving through, having to wrangle with. I know that I can have this energy come up for me on any given day. It's a very human thing to be caught in our anxieties and fears, but at the same time, what I'm seeing for us is the realization of everything that we know to be true and right and good for us, that we're also in the process of manifesting from that. And I know this came up in another reading, from that higher vantage point that allows us to create in a way that's uncluttered. It doesn't, whereas this weighs us down, what I'm seeing is that we're in the process of shedding that so that we can rise up higher and freer than ever before. So the other card that's coming up here Wheel of Fortune. And I know this has also come up before. This is actually Sagittarian energy, which I happen to love. So I know I don't always mention with this one. So Sagittarius is a fire sign, right? And fire, naturally expansive and adventurous. And I feel as if Sagittarius is also, it's a sign and an energy that values personal freedom, you know? And so there's that element to this card too. I so often just see it as positive motion forward. And it's not that we haven't experienced setbacks or, you know, I mean, as like, as Chris at Minnow Pond has pointed out with this energy, it really can go both ways. I feel like it's also just my bias as a reader that so often I just feel like it's progress being made, even with whatever sticking points there are, you know, whatever whatever temporary spokes in the wheel there may have been, we're still moving forward. We're still rolling forward. And because I feel like there's also just a lot of joy accompanying fire and that Sagittarian energy that corresponds to Wheel of Fortune. I'm just getting that feeling of joy, collective joys that we're discovering in, maybe it's our ability to define or redefine what our personal freedom means to us, and across the board in a lot of little ways as well as big ways. You know, I find that for myself to be very true as well. So yeah, so every time I'm able to kind of break out of my own maybe more stagnant energy or feeling stuck in a rut energy, this also relates to feeling stuck in a rut, you know? Every time I'm able to break out of that for myself and create something, you know, in the way that today it feels very right to create this video and do a reading for you all. That's a natural momentum forward as well. So every time I feel the joy of creating for all of you and creating for myself as well, because that goes both ways, I am in this energy. And the card that accompanies this, we got this very same card in the very same position, I believe last time, is Queen of Cups reversed. And so what this feels like, and actually just the message that I'm getting right now, as I listen in to my higher knowing, is we are in the process of listening in more and more regularly. And how awesome that is, that we are learning to do that for ourselves on a more consistent basis, because as we intuit for ourselves, as we tap in, and cups are water, so water goes deep. Water can be, I should say, emotional undercurrent of things, deeper knowing, psychic messages that come through. Water is inherently a psychic element. So as we intuit for ourselves, as we, like David Lynch would say, as we think and feel at the same time, we bring about progress in a way that feels just so opposite to this stuck feeling. You know, this is motion forward. And again, I feel like for me as a reader, I've never really gone in for the doom and gloom. I feel like some readers live in that territory. I really don't. So sometimes in my own mind's eye, I can feel relentlessly positive, but I have to say, well, like a broken record, I feel like I keep saying positive motion forward is what I'm seeing for us. And how beautiful that is, you know, that we have fire and water together, both very intuitive, creative elements. So we're creating for ourselves in new ways, and maybe from that place of deeper knowing. So it's interesting, deeper knowing, higher wisdom, you know, the way they can come together and really commingle in beautiful ways. That's what I'm getting for us. And, you know, just realizing too, all of the elements are here. So going forward, we have 10 of Pentacles on its head. Now, the way this reversal feels to me, it's upcoming energy. This energy is all about success, realizing things for ourselves that we have manifested that just feel so solid and evident and real. Things that are real, that we have realized for ourselves. I feel like we're on that road to success. And that can mean millions of different permutations. You know, it's different for each and every one of us, and how beautiful that is. So there are the really obvious meanings. You know, this could be new job, this could be new relationship, this could be realizing something seemingly very small but very specific and very meaningful. You know, there's just so many different directions that this could go in. So again, what I'm seeing is that we're really in the process of overcoming our doubt and our fear, overcoming that feeling of stuckness, and listening in new ways that are kind of, they're catalytic for us realizing greater success. And again, with Earth, you have that tangibility. So Earth represents resources across the board. So it can get into ethereal territory like time or energy. Those are still resources, right? But then also all of the things that we think of within the material realm, that's also Earth territory. Earth can also be about our physicality as human beings. So maybe for some of you, it's that you just really like to feel better within your bodies. That is also a very earth-based manifestation, you know, to manifest better health for yourself. That's within this ballpark as well. Yeah, this, I feel like so many so many dreams and visions and wonderful things that we are in the process of realizing for ourselves, and how beautiful that is. You know, I can't say it enough how beautiful that is, that we're showing ourselves new things each and every day. And as I always say as a reader, the power lies within you and your ability to really take creative control and listen into what your guidance is saying, you know, for you specifically. And I love that I can relay messages and information that will resonate with some of you, because that's kind of like our guidance speaking. our guidance says, or as Abraham Hicks would say, our inner beings having a conversation with each other. So, but yeah, I always just kind of bring it back to you, because all of you are so much more powerful than you know, and we're powerful creators, and we're showing ourselves that in new ways with this energy. I really feel like this is a joyful unfolding of so many different things across the board that we may have wanted for a long, long time, but felt stuck in not being able to realize for ourselves. We're moving past that stuckness. And yeah, good for you guys, because that's just, it's so, this is the stuff of life. So yeah, just really wonderful reading. And again, I feel like pretty straightforward, right? You know, there's a before and an after, which doesn't always happen with a reading like this. So yeah. And then I also just pulled one of my artworks, and this one came up. So again, I know this has come up before too. Heart-based energy, pink and green speak to the heart chakra, right? So what I'm seeing is that we've felt the scatteredness of clouded thinking, right? So we've been kind of like in the midst of this. You know, there's just so much. The way the energy of this little work feels to me is there's so much going on here, and within that, there is a lot of possibility, but also just this feeling of like wheels are spinning, and you know, where is the progress? You know, like, whereas this feels like a very definite marked progress forward to me so often, this feels like we're spinning our wheels, you know, or that we've had a lot in gestation, but there's been a lot of uncertainty there. And now we're here. It feels like, and the words that I'm getting are, we're on top of our game. You know, like, we've had things in gestation. There's been a lot. I mean, here you have these little yellow bits. Yellow, I'm often thinking of the solar plexus, which is a chakra thing. So solar plexus holds our raw emotion. You know, there's been a lot of emotional stuff. Upheaval is the word that's coming to me. And a lot in gestation, a lot of hopes and dreams and fears. All of that is just, it's commingling here, you know, and now we're here. It's like we've arrived at something new for ourselves, and we've gone through a lot here. You know, to me, this area feels like it represents both all of the muck that we've kind of lived in for a time, you know, all of that stuff that clouds our access to higher wisdom and higher knowing, you know, all of that fear and anxiety, but also possibilities. So kind of both sides of the coin with those what ifs, you know, well, what if something great? You know, there's a lot of greatness in it, but what if something horrible? You know, I'm just not sure. You know, just like a lot that's in gestation. And again, the way it feels to me is that we're coming out of something. It's like we're realizing something entirely new for ourselves that also speaks to being on the other side of this turmoil or this chaos. You know, and here also you have red, which is root chakra. It just feels like there's almost as if these were two little footprints. You know, there's a solidity there. We're standing tall there, even as we've temporarily gotten swallowed up in all of this. We're on the other side and we're standing tall. That's what I'm getting from that, you know? Our heart's been in it though, you know, there's just been a lot of emotions tied in with this feeling of chaos. And again, we've arrived at something better for ourselves. That may be the clearest, most concise way to put it. We've arrived at something better for ourselves. And good on us, because it's taken a lot to get there. But I should say, if those of you listening in don't feel like you're there yet, you're in the process of getting there. That's the way this feels. That's the way this feels too. We are arriving at new manifestations for ourselves that have maybe been in motion for a long, long time, but we just haven't been able to see them so clearly, or haven't been able to hold out hope for them manifesting, even as they were always on the way. That's another thing with the teachings of Abraham Hicks speak to that a lot. We're always in the process of manifesting something wonderful for ourselves, but it's a choice whether we want to live in this headspace or clarify things for ourselves from this place of deeper knowing, really connecting with what Abraham would call the inner being. And so from this place, things here manifest faster because we're more in tune with them. We've maybe always wanted, or like Abraham would say, we've asked for them. And when we're here, when we're able to really realize our power and our intuitive knowing, because that self just has a lot of power, and we all have that, we're able to realize new things for ourselves sooner. It's like we're getting out of our own way. We don't block ourselves as much. And I will say, it's perfectly human to be here. I'm here on any given day, but when I'm able to come out of that and really own this, it's a joyful experience, and it's an empowering experience. I should say it's a more heartening experience. Even if it can't be fully realized ecstatic joy, I feel more my natural self when I'm able to really tap into what I know on deeper levels. So, wonderful job, all of you. All of you. Those of you who are still in the middle, those of you who maybe feel like you're still in the thick of this, you'll get here, you just trust that as best you can. And I hope that this has been helpful for those of you listening in. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I hope that you're able to really congratulate yourselves on the work that you've been doing, because clearly this has taken a lot of work and a lot of just maybe having to arrive again and again at something better for yourselves. I know that that's the process for me. So I will also mention I have started a Patreon. Patreon is a really wonderful way for those of you interested to give back to me and to this channel through a monthly donation. There is a kind of a separate platform that it's on, and it's just a really cool way, a really cool option for you to give back to me through monthly donations. Can be as little as $1 or a month, upwards of $10, and you get different benefits depending on how much or how little you choose to donate. All of you will have access to different content that I post on that platform. Doesn't diminish the content here in any way. This continues to grow and expand, and I feel like get better over time, like a fine wine. So if you're interested, if you'd like to contribute, you can check out my Patreon link below, and that will take you to my page. And if not, that's okay too. It's not for everyone. I am just still really happy to have you all listen in here and now. And I hope that you all have a lovely day, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.